On my bicycle, this is my normal saddle height or seat height, and this is my usual saddle angle, sloping forward about 12 degrees. With this amount of forward tilt, I have a problem with one of the bolts that's interfering with the normal functioning of the seat. I'm gonna take apart this yoke mechanism. I'll show you what bolt and what I'm gonna do about it. I have already loosened this seat post, so I'm gonna turn you face down here looking at this work surface. There is seat post and seat. So let me show you the problem. The problem is that this bolt here and this bolt here, when the seat is tilted forward this much, don't end up to be of equal length. They are, of course, of equal length, but you can see the rear one only has its threaded part, maybe 5 millimeters, whatever, a quarter of an inch exposed, but the one at the front has more of its length exposed, that much, about a centimeter. And as the seat flexes under your weight, because it inevitably does so, that bolt end digs into the backing of the seat and gouges it out. Now, gouging is not a problem. What is a problem with that bolt head there is that the seat can't flex enough to be comfortable. I hope that makes sense in this geometric configuration, and it's only for me because I use this seat at this particular angle. So I'm also gonna change the seat, so I'm gonna take this whole thing apart. It needs fairly simple tools and skill set for disassembly. It's a 5 millimeter hex key or Allen key, and I have measured, I have my landmarks as to what position the seat has to be put back to end up in the same angle and the same height, everything. Thereabouts. Let's see if it comes out. No, needs a little more turning. Alright. So let's take a look at this seat here. You can see where the bolt digs in quite sharply. There's nothing wrong with the seat. A little bit on the hard side, made ever so harder by this bolt interference. Here is another seat with the same bolt interference there. It's better cushioned, and I'm going to put this one on for a day trip to Mount Baker. And to mount it, of course, and this component fell out, but these are the parts that are involved. This is the long bolt, this is the one that, like I said, both are the same length, but this one ends up digging into the plastic, you can see. And of course, on this one is positioned back there eventually. Let's see if I can do this. Of course it doesn't want to go back, but I'm going to take out this bolt at the front, sorry, other way around. Take out the bolt at the front, and it's gonna be very simply shortened. Now I can shorten it two ways. I can put here a spacer underneath, right here. There you can see it has a conical washer there, and same on the other one. I could put a spacer, a small diameter spacer, right here if I had a small pipe or something that fits here. Instead of that, I'm gonna go for the brutal solution, and I'm very simply gonna cut this bolt shorter with this angle grinder, just about there, about 5 millimeters off it. So I'm going to cut 5 millimeters off the bolt. So as I was thinking about cutting it at an angle, but it's but then one corner or one side is going to be higher than the other. It looks like it's going to better fit the sloping profile, but then the bolt needs to be exactly in the same position, with the higher part towards the rear of the seat and the lower part to the front, and that cannot be guaranteed depending on where exactly the preferred angle is. So I don't want to do that. I'm just gonna cut it square about this much shorter, allowing me to have the seat flex enough in normal operation to make it more comfortable. So that's my situation here with this particular geometric interference.